This is Bryan Johnson, a biohacker who spends $2 million a year to look like his 18-year-old self again. Personally, not a huge fan. I mean, where's my chin? I look like a... Anyways, Bryan sold his tech company for $800 million, and now he's focused on reversing his biological age. At the current rate, he is projected to live to 200, and he's developing a protocol for all of us to potentially do the same. He invited me and Kyle to his house in Los Angeles and showed us things that could literally add another 10 years to your life. We're on our way to Bryan Johnson's place.
What do you want to ask him?
I just want to know what we should be doing now in order to maybe add another 10 healthy years to our lives. As I'm slowly getting older, I realize how fast life is flying by, and that's scary. What if this is the guy who goes down in human history as the human being that cracked the code on aging and maybe even eternal life? How's it going?
Good, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. What's on the schedule for you today?
For real today?
Yeah. Bryan's day starts with a program he calls Blueprint, a 5-hour daily routine put together by a team of 30 doctors for perfect health. After 7 months of this, he's already reduced his age by over 5 years, setting a world record in age reversal. I also recently took my own test to find out my biological age, and the results were surprising.
Are you hungry? You gonna eat some food?
Yes. Dying to have your food.
Okay,
I'm
great.
living to have your food.
Okay. So first thing in the morning is the Green Giant, the collagen peptides, creatine, 2.5 grams.
I'm more of a 2.6 gram type guy. I'm happy to try this out.
We can have our differences and be friends. All right, so whoever wants his first class.
All right, let's see how we do.
Yeah, we get the reactions on this.
I'm a fan.
What do you think? What are you doing?
It tastes like nutrition. Yeah.
I think a lot of people are watching this video and they wonder, what is he eating? What are the supplements he's taking? What are the exercises that he's doing so that I can do them as well? And I think that's the wrong approach. Bryan's approach is very different, and it changed my perspective on how to approach health.
Basically, the question we were trying to ask scientifically was, if you just basically made my body a controlled experiment, what could you do with the body? Like, how much could you slow the speed of aging? I've spent millions of dollars doing the first step of measuring everything we can. So we use MRI, ultrasound, DNA methylation, microbiome, everything we can measure. Then we look at the evidence and we say, what does the evidence say to do, to how to achieve optimal health? And then we implement it. Even with these 2 years of kind of messing around with Blueprint, we've dramatically slowed my speed of aging. I'm now aging at a rate slower than the average 10-year-old. We've been able to do that with just 2 years of playing around. It's reasonable for us to say, what can we be in 20 years? It's a cool question. It's no longer like, well, I probably won't be able to walk anymore, my knees will probably be giving out, and my back will probably hurt. We don't have to make those assumptions anymore.
He always thinks 5 levels deep. For example, with his diet, surface level 1, people just think this food is good, this food is bad. Going a level deeper is having specific diets. And that's where you get all these people debating about paleo versus vegan versus carnivore. Going another level deeper is looking at the actual studies. But you still see a lot of things that are confusing or just conflicting. For example, you can feel great on a keto diet, but if you have a certain genetic predisposition to Alzheimer's, it increases your risk by multitudes. And as you go even deeper, it's more about, hey, try out yourself and see how you feel. That's what my best understanding was up until this point.
So what do you think about intuition?
Generally speaking, I don't trust my intuition at all. So this is funny. I do 125 mcgs of liquid iodine a day. So it's just 1 drop, and it tasted really good. And I thought, does that mean my body wants more? So I started doing 2 drops a day, and I get my labs back, and my team's like, wait a second, this marker doesn't make any sense. And I was like, okay, I have a confession to make. And so every time I've used my senses to make a change in the routine, it shows up in the data, and the team instantaneously knows.
This is the 5th level. Bryan doesn't just go based on how he feels or what the studies say, he measures his own data. So the first big thing for me is feelings are nice, but data is king. Data can still mislead you. So it's not perfect, but it's better.
Yes.
And Bryan has data on everything. He even built an at-home clinic for weekly testing.
What's your favorite piece of tech?
They're all my favorites.
It's like his children.
Yeah,
all of them equally.
yeah, they're all special. I'll show you why they're special. So this is multispectral imaging for face age. This is medical grade ultrasound. So we use this for whole body imaging. So this is cool because also I can look at the efficacy of my workout routines. I can look at muscles in a hypergranularized way, so I can see, is my muscle growing? This over here is high frequency electromagnetic. It does muscle contraction. For example, if you apply it to the abdomen, it's the equivalent of 20,000 sit-ups in 30 minutes.
Instant abs is possible.
Have you seen the Rick and Morty episode? Where they sleepwalk and in their sleep they're doing sit-ups?
Yeah. That's this.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, you may be thinking, how am I going to track all of this? I don't have millions of dollars or a team of doctors, but there are a few affordable things you can do now to get massive benefits already. What do you think people could test now?
Activity, fitness, sleep tracker, blood sugar with a CGM, a poop test, and then you get a comprehensive hormone panel. So you get those 4 things.
You are way more accurate than everybody else with the health. But let's be honest, even if you had the most accurate data about everything and you know what to do, what are the chances you're actually going to do it? None of this matters until you apply this next lesson we learned from him.
And so even if somebody knows something's bad for them, it's still sometimes impossible to stop that bad behavior. We have a society that celebrates addiction. When you guys came here today, you probably passed 30 fast food restaurants. You can be on your phone addicted to your algorithms. You've got alcohol opportunities. And then if you don't participate in that, people are like, you're weird.
And it's celebrated because it's like part of living life.
Yeah, they say like, if you can't live life like that, it's not worth living. Like, you must be miserable.
There's so much emotions to unpack in the behavior that drives that sort of thinking. How did you unpack that for yourself?
I shifted control from my brain to my body and just said, all right, organs, you do your thing and I'll watch. We think our brain is the #1 problem solving tool. For me, it was my biggest nemesis. It was the problem I had to solve for.
So what Bryan talks about is the goal of the autonomous self, where you become a system that just follows a protocol. This is why everything in Bryan's day is automated. From his morning pills to his workout plan to the food he eats, he simply needs to get up and follow the routine. And the more you can automate things in your life, meal prepping, to-do lists, workout plans, the easier it becomes to stick to healthy habits.
Yeah, we can nerd out about sleep stuff.
The sleep competition continues.
Nothing makes me happier than when people beat me. I'm close to my first 30 days of perfectness.
Wow.
I've got 2 nights in the past 30 nights I haven't got perfect sleep.
Wow.
But
Okay, you might have beat me on that.
yeah,
So one of my questions for you is, do you rage? Do you party?
I want to film a Blueprint Rager. Shots of extra virgin olive oil, 80 decibel music, not to make sure that the music's too loud.
The red lights.
Yeah. If you establish the culture and the rules of the game, everyone's cool with known rules of the game.
And so that's what you're doing, is you're establishing new rules for people to play in the game that you've decided is most optimal.
And that's the reason why our channel exists. A lot of people feel like that, where they're like, I want to improve my life, I want to live healthier, but I don't want to lose all my friends.
That's right.
What do we connect on that? I think a lot of us went through that period where we're like ostracized, but then eventually we found each other and we built a new group, and hopefully we can make that easier for other people.
How often do you work out?
Spend an hour every day. I try to flex and stretch every muscle of the body. I never get sore, so I'm sure I'm probably missing out on some gains to be made, but really I'm focused on my speed of aging as my marker, trying to slow that to maximum. So I'm not trying to hit certain levels of athletic performance. And the routine I have works. You're working on the backward knee flexion, so hold backwards, one at a time. Yep, there you go. Most people work on forward motion versus the backward, and it's fantastic for knee stability.
You know, his workouts make sure every muscle, joint, tendon gets moved to slow deterioration, whereas my workouts are just for building muscle, and I have to eat a lot of calories for that. More food usually means more accumulated damage to the body, which is actually terrible for longevity. And maybe that shows in the true age test that I took. I got my biological age test results back. Well, let's see if I'm old or not. Intrinsic age is 39? Wow. What the fuck? So it says my biological age is 39. What's yours?
I'm older than you, 46.
You're 46? Mm-hmm. Why are you so chill about this?
I'm aging at a pace of 0.86, so I've slowed down my rate of aging.
When I talked to Ryan, the founder of True Diagnostics, he told me that my immune cells were different than normal at the point of testing, which is probably why I got such a high number. Maybe because I was sick at the time, and I should retest again.
This would make me worried if I didn't see something else on this report, but I do see something else in this report, which makes me doubt the authenticity of this particular metric.
He also shared that the most important factor to look at is the rate of aging, and mine was 0.92.
Think about Bryan Johnson, like he was a lot older than he is currently now biologically. It's literally just about doing the things that heal your your body.
And again, it's easy to think that what he's doing is not accessible to us, but it is. Because I went to visit Dr. Stickler, a longevity expert here in Austin, and he offers a lot of the things that Bryan does to his patients, but way cheaper. And he told me about some really exciting tools that are becoming accessible to all of us and will change our life dramatically.
What's at the forefront of the health industry?
I think the best thing is the plasma dilution therapy. It's a plasmapheresis machine. Draws the blood out, spins it down, takes the plasma off, and returns your red cells. It takes out inflammatory cytokines. It will take out aging markers is the theory that we're looking at. Rapamycin is a little capsule. People take it once a week. There's a lot of evidence that it actually prolongs healthy longevity. I don't know if you remember a show called The Island, but they would pee in the toilet in the morning and it would give them an assessment and alter their diet that they were going to be given for the day and other things. So it's immediate feedback, and I think we're getting there.
Because of people like Bryan, who pour in so much money, all these things that Bryan is doing are becoming available to us. This is what they call democratization, meaning there's more money pouring in, more companies are launching, products get better and better, and every year things are getting cheaper.
Interventions we did in 2010 that would cost $5,000 are now like $200. The amount of time to double knowledge took about 15 years. By 2012, it was down to like 2 years. In 2019, it was down to 7 months. Yeah.
And then with AI, that's probably
Yeah.
exponentially accelerated.
Yeah.
This is something to get excited about. But until then, what can we actually do?
The everyday person that doesn't have $2 million a year to spend, what advice would you give them?
People want to do things in their life that improve their life. Sometimes they'll focus on the things they have control over. Like they want to buy a supplement. But really, it's the bigger issue that counts. Can they get their sleep to be right size? Like, can they actually get high quality sleep? Can they avoid eating a bag of Doritos? Can they avoid the excessive self-destruction? Like, it's like the big things in life are the biggest power laws. The other things are just higher level stuff that will come later in time.
My top 4 longevity pieces is nutrition, exercise, sleep, and stress. 60% of longevity is related to lifestyle.
For now, the best thing that we can do is stay as healthy as possible with the things we already know. Doing the basics, automating what you can, getting tested frequently. But the real question is, do we have to die? Because we may reach longevity escape velocity, meaning that we may live long enough to get access to the discoveries, technologies that allow us to reverse aging and maybe even live forever. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.